calm down. I don't know if we're supposed to be talking right now, Chris.
No, it's not on YouTube yet. But hey, how are you? In case anyone isn't, at least I'm subscribed to YouTube and I don't have anything saying
It's live right now.
But maybe we are, and if we are, it's a work in progress today, right, Jay?
It is a work in progress.
Well, no, it says 99% uploaded. So, oh yeah, we are. I think we're live. Yeah, there's 3 people in the chat right now.
Sweet. I love all 3 of you.
Uh-oh.
This is good. This is good. It's fine. Chris has his phone. We're good.
It's so good. Oh, you can see it too.
Here, you can pull it up on here and you can see all the comments.
It's fine. We're recording right now. Here. Thank you.
We are live. Sherman and Chad. Hey, Lindsay.
I want to be able to see everything here.
I can see. It's interesting. As you can see, sinners. As you can see, yeah, it's new. It's new. Mr. Rolf, our fabulous producer, who's magical, is he's under the weather. Would you say, Joey?
I would say he's under the weather. Not the greatest situation for him. I feel bad for him, but
yeah,
thankfully he's figured it out, and we're able to do this still.
Yeah. So a little bit of adversity, right? We're gonna overcome the adversity. So if we get to the comments, it might be a little bit late. We'll do our best to get to them. We don't have access to read the YouTube comments right away, so we'll get to it. It appears as Tennessee is overrated, Chad Hunter, but the Gators played freaking good football.
The Gators did play really good football. I was excited, enjoyed watching the game over here with some good friends.
Yeah, I was there.
Yeah, you were here. We had a good time. Super glad that the Gators played the way they did. So yeah, we'll talk about it a little bit more here in a bit. But yeah, good time for sure.
It's a little bit disjointed start, but it is going to be a really, really good show.
I agree.
I was kind of worried because it looks really good, our show notes. We have a lot to talk about.
Right.
I have some pretty strong opinions on some things.
You do. I've learned.
Yeah. I tried to save it for the podcast, but I'll fire it back up. But before we get to any of that, Joey,
yes,
we must talk about JW Weaponry, the premier gun store in the South. Could you give the folks the number to JW Weaponry, Joey?
Yeah, the number is 386-243-8587. Give JW Weaponry a call. Talk to John Woodley himself. It's a great time. I promise you won't be disappointed. John's a fantastic dude. He runs a great business. He's been running it for over 10 years now. So he don't miss. Make sure you go see him. And like I said, if you can't, give him a call, 386-243-8587.
No doubt. John's great people. He just got back from Africa, South Africa.
Ooh.
Went out of the country a little bit.
Yeah.
He had a good time, but it's just really good people. So it is hunting season. It's bow season. Make sure you go get them all of your needs, all of your supplies from the fine people at JW Weaponry. Do you have any shout outs, Joey?
No, Tyler. Shout out Tyler for hooking us up with this situation in the last minute. Obviously, like we said, not feeling well, so shout out T Rolf right here. Good time for him. So
yeah, I was gonna shout out producer because he's making things happen. But I did just read a comment. You'll think this is funny. That Brian and Sydney are watching the podcast. Here's my shout out to my wonderful sister Sydney and her boyfriend Brian. They're loyal sitters. They watch it. Anyways, he said Sydney just had it on last week's episode for about 10 minutes. You didn't miss anything. Don't worry. We're just getting fired up.
That's right.
So
that's awesome. I don't know how to turn the comments on here. I'm so annoyed.
Okay, well, I got us tonight.
Let's go.
I got it.
Let's do it.
You want to go ahead and get into it? Where do you want to start? I kind of want to halfway start Colorado.
I'm in.
I know what does the show notes say? The show notes say you can't look at the show notes.
No, I cannot because they're right
comments. I can read the comments if I don't look at the show notes. Okay, I can do it. I'm going to do it. I'm going to be able to do it all.
I know the show notes say Florida State.
Yeah, so I'm going to read it because I have it right here. So we're going to do a pick 'em. We're going to do a pick 'em, but we're not going to do a pick 'em because we can still pick 'em. We can still pick the game. We just want the cool graphics.
Right.
Cool with that?
Yeah, I'm good with it.
All right. We'll do that first, and then we'll talk about Colorado. I want to talk about Colorado.
Yeah.
Specifically the one comment, like one point there.
Mm-hmm.
We're definitely going to pick Florida State, Clemson.
Yep.
Would you like to start there, or we want to just figure out Bama, Ole Miss? I think that one's important.
Colorado at Oregon.
Colorado at Oregon, and Notre Dame or Ohio State at Notre Dame.
Yep. Agreed.
Those are the ones we're going to pick.
100% agreed.
One of you fine sitters, if you'll throw that in the lines to.
I got them all.
You got them all?
Yeah, off my dome, yeah.
Okay, that's interesting.
I just looked at them before you got here, actually.
Okay, cool. Let's go into these questions, y'all. Keep the questions coming. Brandon, I see it. We're gonna get to it. Jay Kennedy, you always have great questions. Throw them in there, folks. We're gonna get to it. Do you want to start with Bama, Ole Miss?
No.
Colorado.
No. Bama, Ole Miss is good. Let's go Bama, Ole Miss.
What's that number? 13?
6.5.
Oh my.
Yeah, Bama minus 6.5. I'll let you go first.
So did you know that Alabama's, this is one stat, this is good. You can take this to the workplace. Bama's offensive line has the worst pressure rate or sack rate, I believe, in college football.
The worst?
In Power 5.
Oof.
The worst.
Okay, that's not good.
Seems a little bit bizarre. And Ole Miss has, I think 9 sacks through 3 games. So 3 a game. So that's like red flag city right there.
It is.
Bama is going to start Milrow. Don't know if that makes me feel better.
I like Milrow better than the other two.
Me too. I'm going to take Bama. I know Jake said bet the house on them to not cover. I am still going to think that they're going to play defense. I don't know. God, I'm talking myself out. Right. Give me Ole Miss. Give me Ole Miss plus 6.5. But the bet I like better would be Ole Miss team total first quarter.
Oh, first quarter.
First quarter. Lane Kiffin's going to have it dialed up. He always does, especially early. He'll be on the script early. I like them team total over. But for the pick 'em right now, we'll go. I'm going to go Ole Miss. What about you?
I've gone back and forth on this one.
Yeah, I just did like 5 times in my head.
Yeah, well, you made me go back and forth on it even more than I already was. I know when I wrote it down, I said I think I'm going Ole Miss. 7 and touchdowns a lot.
It's a lot.
The way Alabama's been playing. I think Milrow does give them an advantage. I think he'll come out ready to play. I think they'll have some stuff squared away. I don't know if you watched any of the USF game with Alabama, but it was hideous. It was 10-3 with 32 seconds left in the game. So they scored really late.
That's crazy.
To make it 17-3. But with all that said, I think minus 6.5. Give me Bama by a touchdown.
Okay. I like it. The chat agrees. Rolf is on Bama. Zach Maxwell, Brinson are on Bama. Jake Kennedy is Bama by 4. So they do not
he's
cover.
He's on Ole Miss.
He's on Ole Miss with me. All right, cool. Right now, if you wouldn't mind, I know it's not our best, but we're still here for you. So if you could like this right now, it'll be wonderful. We don't have any graphics of the cool little like, subscribe, all that on. We don't have that. So just go like the YouTube video. That'd be great. We would really, really appreciate it. We're doing our best for you. We're fighting through all the adversity. Never say die over here. We're not going to quit. All right. Next one, Joey.
Yeah, let's go Ohio State at Notre Dame. I think it's the other way around.
I think they go to Notre Dame, right?
I think yes.
Yeah.
That's how I wrote it down, but for some reason I had it the other way in my head.
Tyler in the chat, correct us. I believe it is at home for Notre Dame.
Yeah. So yeah.
You can go first here. What's the number? 3.
I think it is Notre Dame plus 3.
Yeah.
If I'm wrong on that, again, check me. I don't have my phone in front of me, and I did this an hour ago. So
Joey,
I think that's right.
Clayton, he can't check a text message right now. You can text me though.
I might have screwed that up. No, we're good.
Don't touch it.
Yeah.
You did miss. Don't touch it.
Okay, I'm done touching it.
It is correct. That is at home plus 3. So
yeah. You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I got I went back and forth on this one all day too. I think I'm gonna go Marcus Freeman getting his first statement winning outright. Give me Notre Dame.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
I'm on the Golden Domers. I've been there. It's really fun. Town itself,
maybe
iffy.
not.
South Bend, iffy. Campus, incredible. We went with my dad a few years back.
Yeah,
highly recommend that.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go Notre Dame. I think the luck of the Irish. I think it shows up. I think it shows up. I think Marcus Freeman, like you said, he puts his stamp on it, especially on that side of the ball. I don't think Ohio State has their D line like they typically have. And we'll see. We'll see. I think I like Sam Hartman and the Irish. I think the offensive coordinator's done a really good job. They're better without Tommy Rees.
Immensely better without Tommy Rees.
Seriously though.
And Alabama is worse.
I
don't know.
For now.
I don't know.
They have a bad quarterback situation too.
Yeah, I think the offensive coordinator maybe sometimes makes the quarterback worse than maybe he really is. I'm not saying this for sure what's happening there, but I'm not saying it's not.
So we're both on Notre Dame?
Yeah, both on Notre Dame. Let's go Colorado at Oregon. Oregon is minus 21.
If it was 20, I would love it. Or 20 and a half. I love it.
It might be 20 and a half at some places.
I
saw it at 20 and a half today.
It was at 20 and a half.
Yeah.
At one point. So we're gonna call it 20 and a half.
All right, we'll do that.
Cool with that?
Yep.
All right. I'm gonna go Ducks. Sorry, Clayton. I'm literally texting them right now. I'm gonna go Ducks here.
Yeah.
Oregon freaking Ducks. I like the total over better, but I'm gonna go Oregon. Minus 20 and a half.
Oregon minus 20 and a half for you. I am also going Oregon minus 20 and a half, only because I think Charles Kelly and that defense is going to give up a lot.
They're losing their best corner.
They're losing their best corner and their best receiver.
Yeah.
And
Colorado's offense was kind of like anemic a little bit for most of the game against Colorado State until the last 98-yard drive, which should have put them on their back.
Yeah. And Colorado State's not great.
No, they're not. And they weren't great against Nebraska.
I agree with that too.
Until late. Justin gave the game away 85 times.
At least.
So I have to think that Oregon will play better than them.
Yeah.
They will. But 20 and a half is a lot. I think the number is right. But I can see it get ugly, honestly.
People of Oregon, I've never been to Autzen Stadium, but I know it gets a little crazy. I think they'll be ready for this. I think it's going to be a fun game for them.
Yeah.
And like I said, I just think that Oregon offensively to Colorado's defense is going to be tough for Colorado to maintain. This is the first true test they've had. The first three teams they played, TCU bad, Nebraska bad, Colorado State really, really bad.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes when you get punched in the mouth, like really, really punched in the mouth here.
Yeah, love it. I'm just going to catch us up on the chat real quick while you work on the next part.
Yep.
Rolf is on Notre Dame +3. Riley said, "Sup, nerds?" He's in here. Riley, we're struggling right now, so it's like the first time I've seen Riley in a while.
It is the first time I've seen Riley in a while.
He comes in on this pod, but
yeah, it's okay.
He gets it.
The show goes on.
He knows that.
Yeah, the show goes on.
He's a loyal. It looks like Waylon, AJ Brinson, Zach Maxwell are they're all in Oregon, but Zach Maxwell said he'll take minus 28. Let's see. Oregon minus 100. Sydney. Interesting here. I love this.
A lot of Oregons.
A lot of Oregons in the chat.
Okay. I don't hate it. I agree with them.
Man, we got Mesnard in the chat too. Let's go,
it's
man.
a big night in the chat.
Oh, it's my boy KP's birthday. KP, Coach President Butler's his birthday today.
Okay.
I don't know if he's in the chat. He's in there every now and then. So shout out. Happy birthday, KP.
That's right.
If you're here. All right. Moving along. Sherm says Colorado wins by 3 for the record. Oh, that's a big spider. Oh, shit.
Okay. Kill that.
No. Too big. Oh, God. All right. Let's go. Oh, no. Hell no.
Oh, boy.
Next game.
Next game is Florida State at Clemson. Do you want to go? Do you want to pick?
I'm going to save mine.
Yeah, let's not pick this now.
I'm cool.
Let's pick this when we get to the Clemson preview.
Yeah, with you on that.
So let's go straight into Colorado. We'll go Colorado. We'll go Florida.
Yes, I want to spend. We're going to spend some time on Tennessee.
Yeah, so we'll go.
I'm happy to do that. I know you are.
Yeah, we'll go Colorado.
Yeah.
We'll go Tennessee.
Yeah.
Florida, Tennessee. We'll touch on BC a little bit. We need to touch on it much because we kind of said what was going to happen.
Yeah,
but
didn't it go kind of how?
Maybe not quite as close as we thought.
Well,
but but we'll talk about that, and then we'll go into Florida State, Clemson, and then whatever else the world brings us.
Yep.
We have other stuff, but I feel like just saying that it's going to be 77 hours, and we'll be looking for a way to get out of here.
Yeah,
so,
no doubt. I don't know how we're in the show yet, Tyler. He'll figure it out. All right, let's go. Honest to God, I thought it was an incredible game. But my only talking point was I want to discuss the question that you or Tyler put in.
I think it was Tyler. It was not
Tyler put in the That's where I want to spend my time. But if you want to go game first, I'm cool with that.
I mean, we can talk game. There wasn't much to talk about. It was it was a really good football game to watch.
I agree.
I enjoyed watching it. We watched it right here for most of it, anyways.
Yeah. Hey, Charles Kelly. At some point, we got to figure out how to play like shallow crosses. We got to figure out how to play mesh routes. Like, good Lord, man. There were so many free runners underneath for Colorado State.
Yes.
Charles Kelly makes me want to puke. He's so bad. I'm so glad he's not Seminole anymore.
That's why I think Oregon wins by 21 or more. Yeah. If Colorado State can figure it out and can execute.
Yeah.
But anyways, game was good. Enjoyed the game. Like you said, Shador 98 yards, touchdown. I mean, it was good. It was good for Colorado to win the game. That's about it.
That's kind of how I feel.
Yeah.
They won a game they were supposed to win. It was way closer than it should have been. But at the end of the day, it goes down the column as a win. They're 3-0.
Right.
They're half game away.
They're 1 win away.
Yeah, so they're gonna blow through the season win total.
Right.
So good for Prime and the boys.
Absolutely agree.
Now, the question was, I'm gonna let you frame the question. And then I'd like for you to go first, because you already got a little bit of my point. I would like to get your point. And then we can organically, because I want to get your and I can organically get back to what I was.
Yeah. So the question was, should number 11, I don't remember his name, number 11 for Colorado State, the guy that hit
Blackburn or something?
Yes, I believe that is right. Should he be suspended for the hit on Travis Hunter? I think I said at the time when we were watching it, because we were watching it together, I said at the time, I said he should be ejected from the game. I feel like that was obvious malicious intent to make it a bad situation for Travis Hunter. I also understand it. Like I mean, do what you got to do. I'm not hating him for doing it. I'm not hating the team for telling him to do it. Whatever happened, I'm not hating for it. Mm-hmm. But as a referee, if you know things were already chippy early in the week, and you know that,
yes,
every referee knows that.
Yes,
they were that before the game. Even if they live under a rock and they don't watch football,
sure,
and they don't see press conferences, they know. They knew the game could have a potential to get out of hand. I just think, in my opinion, he should have been ejected from the game right then.
See, for me, it's so ejected, not suspended. Suspended for half.
That's up to the Pac-12 or whatever to determine that.
Here's why,
or whoever he plays, whatever conference Colorado. I don't care.
And I'm going to be long-winded, and I apologize if I offend anyone or hurt anyone's feelings. I'm doing that first. I'm sorry. It was with malicious intent.
100%.
That's how you play the game of football. It is a violent game. Matt Mahoney just asked in the chat whose fault is or who's responsible for Travis Hunter. I'm assuming Matt's talking about like the quarterback hanging out to dry out there. But I'm not going to put it on Shador.
I'm not going to put it on Shador only because yes, it could have been on Shador, but I felt like it was late. 3 to 4 steps is too many. Okay. Like 1 to 2, okay, I can say it, but 3 to 4. The Justin Hunter and the cornerback that was right there, they had already stopped playing. So
yes, all right. Whether he's playing in the middle of the field or half field safety, I think the hit was probably dirty. Yeah, probably. But you know what? Here's the other thing. Here's another side of the coin. Is you got all that mouth pregame, all that mouth. You call me big bad boy. I'm going to show you. I'm going to. Right. You're the guy. If I get a chance he didn't hit him in his knees or his head. Ask any football player in America.
No, I agree.
Don't hit me in my knees or my head. You can hit me anywhere else, and it's football. It's the game, like Travis Hunter said from the hospital. I think people are upset with the result. The process, okay, late hit. We see them all the time.
Right.
The result is a guy got injured in the game and is going to miss the next 3 games and had to go to the hospital. People that's ugly. They don't like that.
Right.
That's hard. But as a football player and a coach, I can promise you, when Florida Gators favorite players, one of the favorites, Reggie Nelson, he's literally named the eraser because he erases people off the field.
Right.
Okay. When that ball
Major right.
Yeah. When that ball is okay, the safety is working on getting on top. Once the ball is in the air, he's doing one of 2 things. He's either tracking the football, and then at that point he's going to go intercept it, or he's tracking the receiver, and at that point, break it up. He's not. Once he decides he's tracking his receiver, he's not looking back at the ball.
Right.
He's running to the receiver. When I get there, I'm going with bad intentions. I'm delivering a very violent hit because it's a violent sport. Now, did he see the ball? Maybe at that point, do you let up? No, you run through his freaking chest. Did. That's why I have no issue with it. If you want it, and the reason I don't think it's a suspension, Joy, is because it's a football play.
Right.
Is it a late hit? Sure. You get penalized for it. 15-yard penalty.
Yeah.
That's what the rules say. If you hit someone late, it's a 15-yard penalty. That's what it was.
Mm-hmm.
It was a late hit. And yes, it was malicious. And yes, it was violent. And yes, that's how we play the game of football.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I don't have an issue. I don't have an issue. Is it a penalty? Yes, I do believe so. But, like, was he trying to kill Travis Hunter? No, probably not. But I've played with people and I've watched many people that might be their goal. Like, it might be their goal to take somebody out. I don't coach my guys to go take somebody out. But if you hit somebody hard as you can and they don't come back on the field, hey, that's football.
Yeah, and I get, I get what you're saying. I do. Again, my only complaint with the whole situation was, and you asked, do you believe that it meant with malicious intent or ill will or whatever? And my answer to that is yes. I truly believe without a shadow of a doubt that his intent was to take him out of that game.
Yeah,
I do believe that.
And maybe it was, but he's their best player on both sides of the ball.
Right.
So
And
I
if
don't know that I disagree with his intent.
I don't.
He didn't like cut him down on his freaking knees or.
No, but there was, and that was probably the first opportunity he got to really get a kill shot.
He took it.
And he took it. Again, my only issue, it was just too late. That's for me personally. It was too late.
Yeah. Clayton's in here. I don't know if you can see that. Can you see that? Clayton has jumped in with us now.
I can't, but I don't know that we'll be able to hear him.
Clayton, you want to say hello?
What's up?
I can hear him from your screen. So
yeah, I turned my phone up a little bit. So
okay, cool.
Yeah.
Real quick, Clayton, I want to get your opinion because it's obviously your squad. But straight out of Travis Hunter's mouth, he did what he was supposed to do. And my dad said doesn't excuse it. So I'm trying to figure out. Oh, he said Travis Hunter was talking, I won't say that word, trash to Colorado State players before the game. So that's like literally the point I made. Like,
right.
I love it. Chirp, talk. He's that guy. He's an alpha male. And Travis Hunter is that. There are consequences. Like, there are. Like, you put a target on your back. And I say that, like, I've coached the game a long time, and I played the game. And, Joe, you know this as my witness, and some of you that I didn't go for any of that either. Like, I didn't. If you did that, like, there was consequences or repercussions for that. And I knew that. And so I was mouthy too. And I got cracked back plenty of times. I'll never forget we played Middleburg, and I told them pregame I wouldn't shake their hands or something, and they sucked. And then, like, the guy looked at me when he walked over and said, I'm going to get you. And I'm like, all right, yeah, whatever. Like, I also can't wait kind of thing. And he freaking knocked me off my feet, cracked back, blindside block, and hit me in my head, which I didn't care. Head than my knees. So,
right.
Like, it's football. Like, that's the game. That's the sport. It's violent. I don't think this should be suspended. I really don't. And I don't really agree with the ejection. It's a football play. Was it dirty? Yeah, probably. Penalized for it.
What do you think, Clayton?
Yeah, I don't have a huge issue with it from an unbiased standpoint. Like y'all were saying, it's a football play, technically. I know for me playing baseball, you know, if you run your mouth when you hit a home run or you strike out the side and the guy comes back and he retaliates, you can't be mad because you invoked that action. So for me, as long as it's within a relatively close field of play, like, is this part of the sport, then I'm okay with it.
You played the game of baseball kind of edgy too.
He did. He was one of those guys. He would have been the one chirping out in the field. But he got hit. So here, let me ask you both of you this question, because you play sports, and everyone in our chat that plays sports, y'all are all the same people. Like, I know that. Right. They are. We play with an edge, and so then, like, when
I knew that was coming.
You kept playing with it.
I know. Well, because
better right now. It's better. That's way better. If you hit a home run and you pimp it, you throw the bat or whatever, and you walk around the base, and you get hit the next at bat, that's not. Pitchers get ejected for pegging people, but we all understand part of the game of baseball. I earned that. So Travis Hunter, just by guy, honestly, earned it. But then when he's talking and chirping the way he was, like, just put a target on the back. Like, and that's okay. It don't always end up in a freaking 3 weeks out. I guess that's my thing. Would there be this much outrage if he jumped up and flicked the guy off and jogged back to the huddle? You know what I'm saying?
No.
No, people don't like the result. That's the issue. They don't like the result. The result is he got hurt pretty damn bad. They don't like the process. The late hit, we see them all the time.
Right.
It's not that big of a deal when it's all the time when they pop up. But it's the fact that he's for 3 weeks and he's in the hospital and Colorado's got all the smoke and all the steam and all the publicity because they're hot right now. Like, this kid shouldn't be getting death threats. They shouldn't be threatening his family. Like, this is way ridiculous out here.
No, I agree with that. Did you see what Prime said, though?
He's class act.
Class act.
Or both. They handled it perfectly.
They did handle it perfectly. I have to agree with that.
But they both play the game at a high level. They understand that this is what it's supposed to be.
You're not wrong about
He
that.
gets that. They understand. Like, they understand it. But, like, the kid's getting death threats and his family's getting death threats.
Yeah, that's
They
ridiculous.
posted his address. They posted his family's address.
No.
That's absurd, man.
That's too much.
That's crazy. It's
That's
just
too much.
football. Like, when it starts getting like that realm,
Right.
I'm like way out on that.
Yeah.
Especially when it's something like that.
No, 100% agree with that.
I think that people are trying to blow it out of proportion because he's out for so long and he has the laceration in the liver or whatever it is. People are saying, "Oh, well, now he definitely should have been ejected."
Don't you agree? Like, if he would have just jumped up, it would have been like, man, I mean, that was dirty. That'd been the end of it.
Yeah, that's fine. I think it was a cheap shot, but I think on the other hand, the CU fans and just national media who are calling for him to be suspended now that Travis was in the hospital, you can't suspend for what happens after the play. You suspend for the play.
100% agree. I think we can move on from that. I absolutely agree. I kind of want to get to Florida, University of Florida, if you boys are good with it.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Is there anything between? Are we good?
We should probably do an ad read for
Brian Sports.
my guy Brian Sports. Yeah, we'll probably do that. Make sure you guys give Brian a call 755-0570 to get all of your sporting good needs, any shirts, hats, like this Brian Sports hat right here. Anything. He will definitely hook you up and get you the best deal possible. Mention Front Porch City and get 10%. So yeah, go see Brian at Brian Sports. Great people,
man,
the best.
So we watched the Florida game with him.
We did,
coincidentally enough.
Yeah.
He made steaks that were wonderful. Baked potatoes were wonderful.
Thank
My
you.
daughter, we brought the kids over. Mia was eating baked potatoes and like a sandwich. She was eating like a sandwich.
She did. It was fantastic.
It was unbelievable, incredible. I love my kid. But Brian's wife made a cake. Oh my gosh. As good of a person as Brian is in a store, Brian Sports is, Amy's the better in the kitchen making cake.
Unbelievable. I have to tell you, my grandmother, she passed away maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago. She make the yellow cake with the chocolate icing. It was my favorite cake of all time. Every time we were going, that's what she would make every single time. She never failed, and it was the best cake. Amy's was really, really close to that. Really, really close.
That's high praise.
Yeah, it was as good as it gets. I'm telling you.
I'm going to address
fantastic.
one comment, and then we'll go to Florida. Sherm says, who was also here, he can co-sign for the cake and the steak.
Yeah, he can.
He said, but if you were standing at first base and the pitcher picked over and threw the ball at your head, that's really wrong. I would say, yeah, probably so. But we used to teach our first basemen to tag hard. And what did they tag? I'm just saying, like, there's all kinds of layers to this. Clayton knows because he played for us. Like, if we pick, make sure he knows we picked. Like,
that's why it was perfect having Cal Gillum at first. Just slam it down on somebody.
Yeah. And when I played, it was Chris Snyder's. He was a boy dog. But yes, but sure, you're right. I think it's a dirty play. I'm okay with that. I can be swayed to that. I think he knew who was running the 9.
Oh, 100%.
And he was going to go
no matter what.
Make sure he felt it.
Yeah, no matter what.
I'm cool with that.
I am too.
All right, University of Florida.
Let's go.
The Gators.
Dude.
That was his overview. Was that one of the more complete games that you've seen from Florida play in a while? I'm not saying they're best. I'm saying complete.
No, I think it was. Offensively, they were solid enough. Defensively, I thought they were pretty freaking good.
Austin Armstrong.
Crowd was incredible.
Yep. Not game in the swamp.
Yeah, I mean overall, yeah. I mean Mullen had some great games and especially on offense, but defensively we were pretty bad at the time. So yeah, I would say this is probably the most complete game we've played in several years.
Yeah, no doubt. I didn't get my Shedeur Sanders point off, but it's okay. But no, I agree. We'll say that. I thought defensively they were like stout. I don't think what's his name, Joe Milton, is very good.
We said that last week. I think Joe Milton is bad. The quicker he's gone, the better Tennessee gets.
But they made him look pedestrian.
It made him look like what he is.
But they did that.
Yeah, they did.
They haven't always done that.
No, I agree. I agree.
I thought they played very well. I thought they ran the ball fine.
Yeah.
But I think is Graham Mertz the story?
He played really well again.
He's giving me these vibes. Sorry, Jake Kinney. He's giving me like AJ McCarron vibes.
I can see it.
Like, he's not gonna go win like a national championship per se, but he's not gonna go lose games either.
No,
at least not yet.
And AJ McCarron, especially in college, was good enough to where he may have won a few games, not all the games,
Right. Not
but those
huge
times,
ones.
where he played really, really good at Alabama, and you were like, oh, maybe he's not just like Greg McElroy or blah 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 or blah blah blah, whoever was before, and Jay Coker, whoever. Maybe he's not those guys.
I agree.
I think Graham Mertz is approaching that level of like he's good enough, and then he shows moments of brilliance. So I'm okay with it.
I'm gonna get Clayton's thought on this. I almost owe him an apology. Almost. Like I'm not there yet, but like what he did production wise at Wisconsin was really, really bad.
Right.
It might not have been his fault. It doesn't appear through 3 games, small sample size, but Tennessee wasn't a bad football team.
No.
Defensively.
No. They're not great, but they're not bad.
They're not bad, but
No.
he put up really good numbers.
He did.
In every game so far.
I agree.
So I may owe Mr. What was this most recent one? Mertz Zanity, Heismertz. I may owe Mr. Mertz an apology.
Graham.
Yeah. I may. I thought he performed very, very well. I thought the coaches coached better too. Clayton, what did you think? What was your takeaway from Florida, Tennessee?
Well, I was allegedly disappointed because it may or may not have gone the way that I had rooting interest in. But it was kind of tough, at the very start of the game when ETN broke off that big run, you just kind of started to feel the momentum go from there. The run game really started to work more, yards per carry. And I think that makes Mertz look better in the long term. Like you said, he's not going to go out there and throw the ball 50 times for 400 yards and 3 touchdowns and win you the game. But if he can lean on a ground game and he's got 3rd and 5 or shorter and he can work outside the hash marks to the sidelines on little outs, he can win you games doing that. But the run game has to be there, and it was.
I wholeheartedly agree.
Yeah.
You have to keep the defense honest to where they can't just tee off. But like his throw he made out of the pocket on the 3rd down where he's rolling to his right and the receiver plants his feet right on the edge of the sideline. He just throws a dime. Man, that's an incredible play, really.
Yeah, Maxwell just talked about that in the chat.
Oh yeah, you can see the chat now.
I can see the chat now. I figured it out. It took me a good 25 minutes, but we're here.
Well, help me out because I'm drowning in it because we have so many loyal sitters and they're in there deep tonight.
Yeah, well, Ringo says their coaches at Wisconsin admitted they used him wrong. Zach Maxwell said, I'm not above admitting that the throw he had on 3rd down on the sideline to number 22 kind of knocked me down in my seat a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's the one you're talking about.
That's big time. That was complete. That's really, really good stuff.
Mesnard said, look at his adjusted completion percentage with this guy emoji. And then Rolf said his energy was exactly what we needed it to be. And that's the part right there, the energy.
I thought he led.
Yeah, he doesn't seem to be much of a rah-rah guy, but when a play was made, it didn't matter who made it really. When a play was made, he was the first one down there to kind of give a good fist pump and get the crowd up a little bit. His energy after the game, I thought was fantastic. Like you could tell that it was a win that the staff had been preaching that they needed.
It was a huge win.
It was a huge win for everybody involved. I think it was a huge win for Graham Mertz. I think it was a big win for him, like his own confidence and his self thought. I think it was a big win for him. And I think that's why you saw a little bit more emotion than you had previously seen from him.
I thought Florida played one of the more complete games I've seen them play. Offense, defense, running the ball, throwing the ball. Quarterback is they look good. They beat Tennessee. Tennessee didn't give them the game. They won the game.
Right.
Tennessee didn't lose the game, I guess that's what I meant.
No, I agree with that.
Tennessee did not lose. Florida won.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I agree. I do. Listen, I'll be the first to tell you. I think the referees were favorites to Florida in certain situations, but I don't think it had an outcome. Like I don't think it had a
It didn't change.
I don't think it changed the outcome of the game.
It might have changed the score per se, but
Maybe.
it didn't. Like the one that stands out is the blindside block.
Yeah,
that's so bad.
That's so bad.
That is so bad.
I mean, everybody in the room said it then. That's just not good.
Think about it. The hit on Travis Hunter and the blindside block results in the same penalty.
Right.
It's not. Stop it. It's not right. But again, it doesn't change the score. I mean, it may change the score. It doesn't change the outcome.
No.
Florida still wins that handily, in my opinion.
I think so too.
Yeah, and I thought, you know what else too? Like, before we get too far off of it, I thought Billy Napier outcoached Josh Heupel.
Yeah, I did.
I thought he outcoached him. The plan was better, and they executed it better.
I think so too. I was pretty pleased with Billy for the most part. I still think his play calling lacks creativity. There's a lot of delay in getting the call in, and then a lot of motion at the end of the play clock whenever you're trying to rush. Eventually, that stuff comes back to bite you. It just does. I don't care what anybody says. It just does. But outside of that, I thought the game plan was well orchestrated. I thought they did a good job with the game plan. Austin Armstrong, we talked about it earlier. Austin Armstrong, dude, come on. Yeah. Sign him to a bigger deal today.
Get him. Better lock him up.
Lock him up today.
He's good.
I'm so serious about that. Like,
he's good.
He's everything I was hoping he would be.
He's everything you would want a defensive coordinator to be.
Yeah.
Extremely knowledgeable.
Other than being kind of a goober.
He's definitely a goober.
But other than that, like he's got fire. He's knowledgeable. He's super energetic. I like him.
Yeah, I agree. Clayton, what was one thing that surprised you in that Florida game against Tennessee in the Swamp? What kind of caught you off guard, or you were encouraged to see?
Well, I knew you guys kind of touched on it last week, and I knew I have a buddy who knows Joe Milton from high school, and he said, the talent is there, just raw arm ability is there, but I didn't watch many of his games before he got to Tennessee, and it was shocking to me, even after you guys touched on it, how bad, especially he seemed to be when the pocket was collapsing. Because he's athletic, you would think that he would be able to move the pocket or scramble out and make a throw, but you could just see everything fall apart whenever the pocket collapsed.
I totally agree, and I think Florida played to that.
I 100% think the Florida played to that. Yeah,
collapse the pocket and make him be somebody that he's not shown that he can be, and they did that at a pretty high level.
Yeah, I absolutely agree. And to your point, and I guess to our point, the previous week, like the talent. The arm talent, the athleticism, that's how he wins jobs, right? He's won 2 different jobs. He won a job at Michigan, and then 4 games later he lost it. He won the job against Hendon Hooker, and then 2 games later he lost it then. Practice is one thing. White lines in between them, that's a whole nother thing. He doesn't seem to have that gamer ability. He's again, all the talent in the world, that doesn't help you in between those white lines. You got to be able to play the game then.
I've been saying it. Some kids just get white line fever.
They do.
Yeah,
and that's a real thing.
It is a real thing.
It is absolutely a real thing. Like I mean, we've both coached guys in multiple sports that you're taking BP at 5 o'clock and you're like, my God, this guy's got to be in the lineup. And then at 7 o'clock when the game starts, for 4 weeks, this guy's hitting 0.72, and you're like, okay, well, this ain't it. We're gonna have to do something different.
Brandon Leslie said in the chat they should fight after going down early, when in years past they would kind of fold.
I agree with that. There was never a panic, I didn't think.
No, I think because they believed their coaches, they trusted the plan, and they knew they could execute it. And they did. They did a very good job of that. I think that's a very, very big win for Florida. Is that the biggest win for Napier?
By far.
I agree.
I mean, the first one was nice against Utah. Like that was a big win just to get to get the momentum rolling.
The first one too.
But and like I said, just because it's the first, you get the momentum going. But this one was the biggest one because he needed to win a rivalry game. Had to, didn't have a choice. Had to win one.
I agree. Hey Clayton, what do you think about Heupel calling the timeout at the end of the game?
What's that?
What did you think about Heupel calling the timeout at the end of the game?
I thought it was weird because at first I thought that it was kind of a flashback to Urban against Georgia, and maybe Napier was just trying to get his guys in the crowd fired up in the moment. But whenever they signaled to the Tennessee side, I don't know. I don't get it. I don't know what the motive was there. I
Me
mean,
either.
you're not planning at that point, so.
Yeah. I almost thought it was like on purpose because didn't Napier call a couple timeouts before that?
He called one, but I think it was just because they had bad personnel on the field. Or something.
They didn't have the victory formation.
They didn't have the victory formation right. They're not used to being in that formation, so or they weren't sure how to quite line up in it. So we're gonna get an illegal formation on the victory formation.
No, Sydney, my sister just said Heupel is trash for calling a timeout. I agree. It resulted in 3 suspensions.
4.
4?
3 for Florida, 1 for them.
Yeah, we don't care about them. 3 for Florida. But yeah, it was. It won't matter. It's just for a half, right?
Right, just for a half against Charlotte.
The boys are out there boxing.
Literally
had their freaking set up. Incredible.
That may get one of them maybe benched for a while though.
Oh really?
Yeah, Mr. George, the right tackle. He hasn't played great. He played better.
Oh, so you mean like because he gets benched, he might get replaced?
Yeah. Kid from FIU. I can't think of his name right now. Linden, maybe.
Sure.
I think. Where did I say?
You said FIU?
Yeah, that's where he's from. Kid from FIU. He was a pretty good tackle for them last year. He's kind of been a rotational guy for us this year. He's kind of spelled a couple of different times at a couple of different places. But I think that him having a whole half to himself, like, hey, you're the right tackle today.
Yeah.
And
get
we'll
all reps in practice too.
Right. We'll see.
Hey, never know. Where do you want to go next? BC review.
Yeah, your sister said Kirk Herbstreit's bias commentating can go away as well.
I love my sister.
I do too.
She's like the literal best.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was definitely from the burnt orange. Well, not burnt orange, just ugly orange.
Yeah.
Sorry, Tennessee.
He probably had money on Tennessee. He had a bad situation in Gainesville apparently a little while back. So
yeah,
we're not going to discuss that. We're not going to discuss that.
Yeah, not great.
Yeah, let's go BC. Let's go BC review. Before we do that, though.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we do have to give another ad read to the best barber in the history of mankind.
Fact.
Yeah, Josh McCardle. By the way, Josh, probably need to come see you soon.
Yeah, this angle's not helping.
No, it ain't helping. It ain't good. I know. Well, I knew that when I turned it on, I was like, and then I tried to play angles, and it was like, whatever, it doesn't matter.
And we're not as good as some girls on like Facebook.
No.
No filter or something.
No, I need a filter. That's exactly what I need. But anyways,
Tyler, can you get a filter?
anyways, go see Josh, best barber, like I said, in the history of mankind. They got all kinds of stuff going on out there at the barbershop, at Josh's barbershop. They got all the goodies. Go see them. 386-247-1430. Text him. He'll get the schedule to you. And then, I'm telling you, you won't regret it. I promise.
Fact. I couldn't agree more. Big Gator fan. Shout out his wife, Christy. She loves Florida. He loves Florida.
Yes.
So I know she was super thrilled.
She definitely was.
With that win. Yeah, let's go. Zach Maxwell starts it off perfect. Can we talk about the greatest quarterback of all time? Tommy Castellanos, Boston College's quarterback. We made him look good for damn sure.
He actually played pretty good, though.
He played really good.
Yeah, he really did.
Really good. I've always said, like, for forever, I hate defending a mobile quarterback. It's like my least favorite thing.
Right.
Anything but a mobile quarterback, because the reason why is you can have, and Coach Reed is a very good defense coordinator as well, and I'm sure he'll agree. And you can have the perfect defense call. You can have a guy for him. You can have 2 guys for him, and he'll still make you wrong because he's just better.
Right.
At that like mobility side of things. Like you can have the perfect call, and it won't matter. It literally won't. It literally won't matter. Oh my God, the comments.
That's fantastic.
That's good. I love it. But no, Boston College. First of all, Boston College was a great trip. Any Seminole fans, if you ever get a chance to go to Boston and catch the game, it's like really worth it because the game itself probably won't be great, but like in Boston will really be great.
Yeah.
No man, it went how we thought. First of all, it was 31-10 with 11 minutes to go. Yeah. That people get like they missed that point. Mm-hmm. It was 31-10 with 11 minutes to go. So for the most part, the majority of the game, they handled it. They had a lapse in focus. They took their foot off the gas. The defense didn't execute at the level they should have. Tommy Castellanos put his team on his back. Literally. He's a very highly rated player as well, for the record, at running back. Florida State and Georgia both recruited him as a running back. He went to UCF to play quarterback for Malzahn because he kind of uses his quarterback as a running back. He didn't win the job. John Rice told me he won the job. He transferred to Boston College, where he went. Looked really good.
He did.
Looked really good.
He did.
He made plays on third down. And I'm like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Who are you? Like, what are we doing? But I didn't think Florida State played well either, though, especially late in the game. Yeah. I mean, you watched it, right?
Yeah, I did. I watched almost every second of it. It just seemed like the momentum, like you said, in the middle of the beginning of the fourth quarter, the momentum started going to Boston College's side, and Florida State had a hard time recapturing the momentum. And I know part of it, you're banged up. Part of it is a lot of guys on that team were sick.
Yeah, I will not, and I will never excuse them.
No, you shouldn't.
They had the flu. A lot of them were on IVs.
A lot.
Don't care.
A lot were on IVs.
A lot.
And so, you couple you couple the injuries to Jordan Travis, which was scary for a minute.
You dang right.
It was very scary for a minute. The guys being sick, people, the O-line being beat up a little bit.
Yeah, 3 or 5 starters were not playing.
Right. I mean, so you couple all that with noon game at Boston College, you're up 31-10. It's time to coast. You put the thing in neutral and let it coast down the hill. Well, the problem is that hill went down and started going back up real quick. Yeah. And so now you're going uphill in neutral, and that's not going to be a good situation.
And they couldn't stop the bleeding. I'm going to ask Clayton. Clayton, your perspective, what was your takeaway from the game itself, overall?
What bothered me was, I know he's a mobile quarterback, and I'm sure you saw my tweets. I was rage tweeting somebody put a freaking spy out there. Because when he beats you with the run consistently, how do you not at least put the spy out there and then trust your DBs to man up or play their zone, whatever? But I think the worst thing for me that kind of made me lose hope, even in that moment, as us as a team, is the 3rd and 10 and longer conversions. You can give up the 3rd and shorts, that's fine. But to a team that isn't supposed to be in the game, it started when they were down 31-10. You give up that 3rd and 12, they're like, well, hell, why can't I go get the next 3rd and 13 or whatever it is? And you just keep letting that momentum compound. You can't let them get 3rd and 10 plus. It just can't happen ever.
I totally agree. And you go a step further, and then you look at the turnovers. The offense has the fumble 6 because Keon Coleman he's complaining about not getting the ball, right? But he's not blocking on the screen. That would have been a huge play. And so Philly goes for a long ways. Instead, he turns around. He's not expecting to get hit right now because the receiver should be blocking the corner. He gets hit, fumbles it, scoops the score. And then the ensuing kickoff, I believe, remember the kickoff prior. Coach Norvell's coaching it up. It's perfectly handled. Trey Benson fumbles the freaking kickoff. They get the ball. It was just self-inflicted stuff. And it turned into a freaking sweat at the end of the game. Yeah, I was never sweating the cover, the spread, because I never thought that was something that should have been wagered on. But this shouldn't have come down to a win or a loss. That was absurd, man. It was absolutely ridiculous. Zach Maxwell just here on the in the chat. He's very, very plugged in Florida State. Gator fans, stay here because you're getting good intel. But he said I've never seen a side lost in my life. I won't read the last part. But sadly, the spy was Jared Burris half of the game. Stood no chance. Yeah, so that's an issue for me. And it makes me nauseous to think that you would have your best pass rusher be the spy. No. How about anyone else? How about let him go create chaos and have him flush the pocket, and then let an athlete, safety, somebody chase down a true running back?
Even if he was athletic enough to stay with that guy in open field, he's your best pass rusher. I don't understand taking him off the line to bring him back for a play that may or may not happen. Spy Bethune in the middle and then just let him roam.
I will say, too, I think with Akeem Dent having a hamstring injury, I think that was a bit of an issue. Because I think normally, maybe Akeem Dent would stay at safety and Shaheem Brown would come down. He would be the spy guy. Yeah. He is very much capable of handling those responsibilities. So, I don't know, man. I was discouraged, of course, obviously. I don't think they played their best game. But I just try to remind myself that, like, with all of the factors that go into it, it's 31-10. They're up 21 points. They're literally about to cover with 11 minutes to go.
Yeah.
And then the wheels fall off. They can't stop the bleeding, and we have to sweat it out as Seminole fans. Like, are we about to drop this game to freaking BC? And it very much almost happened.
How much of that do you think was looking ahead to Clemson, though?
You know, I think a little bit. I do think that's like the normal, like, unfortunately, like, I think that there probably is something to that. I think there's probably a little bit to them not being 100% health and then not being 100% like game day healthy with like being sick. But to me, it's still not an excuse. Like, you're Florida State University, like, we shouldn't be in a sweat with freaking for whatever reason, especially when we've already carved out a 31-10 lead.
I think, like I said, I think that's part of putting it in cruise control and putting it in neutral and just kind of riding. Like, you assume that because you're Florida State, because of where you are right now in terms of national recognition and whatever, Boston College is probably going to lay down. Well, Boston College has been struggling. They want to show anybody anything at this point, and they want to show it for themselves. I don't think they care about showing the world anything. They want to show themselves that, hey, we can do this too. We can play football. And so, like I said, once you put that car in neutral, that thing don't go back into first gear anymore.
We know it's hard.
Yeah,
it has to go back in the park.
Right.
Right. And then but you don't have a park.
Yeah. No, there's no park in the fourth quarter.
No reset button.
Right. So I don't think it's a detriment going forward. I don't think it has any role in any way, shape, or form for anything else. I think it was a standalone one-time issue, and they'll probably get it squared away.
Yeah, two things. Hungry dogs run.
That's right.
Boston College was hungry for that win, especially late in the game. And they're willing to do whatever it took to make it happen. Yeah. The other part is this. I'm not hitting the panic button for a couple of reasons, because the teams, Florida State would have found a way to lose that game a year ago, right. 2 years ago.
They lost that game to Jacksonville State.
Yes, sir. So, and on top of that, at the top of the food chain in college football, Georgia was losing at halftime. South Carolina.
Yes.
Ohio State's been fine. They've been fine. Michigan haven't covered yet, but they've been fine. They haven't played anyone. Alabama, do what they're doing. Right. Like, they almost lost to USF. So, like, I don't know if this is going to be a year where you have the Georgia that's been, like, on this high mountaintop. So, did Florida State perform well? Absolutely not. But they found a way to win. We'll see what they do this week. That'll be the big one for me. You had a comment in there, Keon Coleman's tweet. Let's go ahead and hit it now.
Yeah. So Keon Coleman, somebody, I can't remember who it was in the NFL. Breece Hall had 4 carries. So he tweeted 4 footballs, right? Yep. So that was it. He just tweeted 4 footballs, which meant basically that's what I got. I got 4 touches. I need the ball more. We can read into it like we want to, because we both know that's what he meant. That's what he meant. Keon Coleman tweeted 3 footballs because he had 3 targets with 0 catches. Yep. So he tweeted 3 footballs. I don't know if he left it up. I haven't looked. But, sure. But how do you feel about that?
Oh, I personally hate it. I despise it. But this is part of the deal when you go to the NIL game and you go to the portal. These guys are on. It's like a contract year type deal. So you have to understand, like, they're coming to Florida State for what reason? They're not trying to put Florida State on. They have no allegiance to Florida State per se. They're coming to the Florida situation where they get the ball, they can shine, they can show. He had nine targets against LSU, maybe 9 catches. I think he's had like 3 or 4 catches, or maybe 0 catches since then or something. No, he had some against.
I was gonna say he had some.
He has in the 2 games since then. He's had less than that.
Right.
So they do have to showcase him, but at the same time, this week, in my opinion, was about trying to get the run game going, because we did think there was going to be a hurricane. We thought it was going to be 40, 50 mile an hour winds. They practiced all week with wet balls. They weren't really stretching the ball vertically down the field. They thought it was going to be a ground and pound, get the ball, get guys going. And then Johnny Wilson has been struggling. They got to get him going. So they fed him the rock. That's what they did. Caught the ball, got a little bit of a groove, appears to have got the yips out of the way now. So the goal, the focus was to try and run the ball and to get Johnny Wilson and Jaheim Bell going.
Right.
They did.
Mission's accomplished.
Absolutely. But I get wanting the rock. I understand that. The part that concerns me more was an emotional tweet. It wasn't an emotional tweet. He didn't do it in the locker room after the game.
No, but it's still emotional.
Sit on it
It's still emotional.
It's emotional, but it wasn't like heat of the
in the moment. Right. Yeah, no, I mean I get that part, but
wide receivers are divas.
That's what I was just about to say.
Ball.
That's what I was just about to say.
If you didn't want the ball, it'd be an issue.
Last week and a half.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
For one reason.
Yeah.
And so like I get that side of it. You know what I mean? Like I get the side of it where if you're a receiver, if you don't want the ball, that's where we have an issue.
Yeah, I agree.
We have an issue. But there's ways to go about it. My son now knows that there's ways to go about it as well. Like you don't just go and demand the football. You don't tweet 3 footballs. You don't do that. You just don't. Those are things that you can't do.
Right.
So like I get that side of it that you want the ball because you have to, but you have to go about it in the right way. It came off as really, really selfish, which it was. Which it was selfish. But when you're at Florida State and you hit on it, you said that's not what he's there for. He's there to showcase his ability, which is fine. He showcased his ability in a national game, nationally televised game, all by themselves. He showcased that he was the man.
Yes, he did.
The next time they play a nationally televised game coming up this Saturday against Clemson, he's going to showcase that he's the man.
I guarantee. Take the Keon Coleman over.
He will showcase that he's the man.
Take it.
So relax a little bit, my guy. Like it's like you said. Did you miss it?
No, I got him.
Okay.
I got him.
Good job.
He's been staring me down for like 30 minutes.
Well, I've been looking over there waiting for it to crawl up.
No,
so I'm glad you finally got it.
Like power up on me.
Yeah, I'm
I
glad.
just killed the spider.
It's been a long time coming.
Keon Coleman is the guy, though. He'll be showcased against them.
He'll be showcased again. Whatever, like you said, whatever that number is, receptions, yards, take the over, probably take a touchdown or 2.
What do you think, Clayton, about that? And then we'll get to Clemson.
My rule of thumb and playing for you guys and Coach Shane as well. Not that we were talking to like national media or on Twitter or anything, subtweeting coaches, but it's always better to keep it in house. I don't have a problem if I'm on a team and a guy has an issue with his role or how something went. Keep it in house. Go to the coach and say, hey, like I'd like to be in the game plan. Like this is what I saw on the field to where I thought I could have been involved. Like how can we scheme this for the next game? Don't go to Twitter where all the weirdo people who scroll Twitter all day can take it and run with it. Now it's this big story. FSU Barstool's probably posting it everywhere. Like you just made it a bigger deal than it needed to be in a game that in the grand scheme of things, we're not going to care about. No one's going to look and say, oh, he had 3 targets or 3 catches, whatever it is. You're Keon freaking Coleman.
That's 100% correct.
So we have you on because of things like that.
Right.
Keep it in house. It's that simple.
I promise if they go to the Boston College game, they're not going to be like, oh my God, the ball. We're not drafting this guy. We're not doing it.
And unfortunately, it's not going to that game like, hey, we got to get Keon going the ball 10 times today. No, you know what we have to do against this? I hate to say it because it didn't turn out that way, but Boston College should have been a stat game for them. We got to work on things that we need to work on in the run game. We need to be vanilla. We don't need to show Clemson anything going into the week. We need to get out of the game healthy. And we need to get Johnny Wilson like his confidence back.
Right.
Like, that's what that game should have been about. And I think that's what it was about. And he didn't like it. Okay. How about you block? How about you freaking go manhandle the corner so that Toll catches it, turns it into 70. And then we're not sweating it. And it's not a 14-point swing.
And
how about that?
And you know what else you get if that situation happens?
The ball.
Well, the ball, yes, but you also get film that you can do other things besides just catch the ball and run routes. You can block. You can be an unselfish teammate. You can be a great teammate in that moment.
Man, they got a rule with them over there. If you want the rock, block.
I like it.
Period.
Better learn to do something different.
If you want the rock, block. And if you ain't gonna block, then we're not getting the ball for you.
Here for it.
We got other guys. That's how you breathe. That's like cold. Like,
right.
You're gonna work your butt off for your teammate's success if you want. And if it ain't no chicken or egg, you have to do that first.
Yeah.
And realistically, though, he got the ball before he blocked at LSU.
He did.
So do your freaking job. How you fit in this team? How about that? Tweak that. He's a good player, man. I like him. I think he's a really good player. He's an exceptional player. But you got to be bought in to the team. I can't stand selfish. Y'all, yeah, you know that. I hate that.
Right.
In a sport where you have to be unselfish, I can't stand selfish.
I wholeheartedly agree, brother. You said it right. In a sport where you have to be unselfish, you can't be selfish.
There's no place for it.
There's zero place for it.
Especially not for saying.
One thing, Tyler hit a point. A lot of times you learn lessons when you get an L. FSU learns that lesson and still gets a W. I don't hate that.
Reed Maxwell. No, Tyler's right. Maxwell, what he just did really good. Because I think I'm kind of in the same boat.
I'm having a hard time with the personnel and play calling already. Why do we not? Is that not? There's a heart on my screen.
This is not.
Yeah. Why do we not use a slot wide receiver? Destin Hill should be on the field.
I agree. I think we're running too many too tight end sets. I think they're trying to run the football. If you're gonna run the football though, then put in Biscuit and not Common a lot. How about that?
Yeah.
Like I would love to see 11 personnel: Benson, Jaheim Bell, Johnny Wilson, Destin Hill, Keon Coleman, Jordan Travis. Love that. Like don't complicate this.
Right.
But again, I think maybe I'm gonna withhold judgment till Saturday.
Yeah.
Clemson. That'll be the tell-off for me.
Let's get to Saturday.
Let's do it.
Let's talk about Clemson.
Clemson -2.5. So they're favorites at Clemson.
No. Florida State. Oh, Florida State is minus 2.
Favorites, yeah, they're favorites at Clemson.
Yep.
Death Valley. It's a noon kick because they lost to Duke. That's fine. I'd rather be a noon kick in Death Valley.
I don't like it. I don't like the noon kick. I don't like the noon kick for anybody. I don't like it for me. I don't like it for you. I don't like it for Clemson. I don't like it for Florida State.
I don't want to be a 9 game.
I don't think it matters.
Okay, it does matter.
You're either good or you're not good. You either can play football.
But the crowd does matter.
The crowd can.
Is Florida crazier in a noon kick or a freaking night kick?
Well, it depends.
It does not.
Yeah, are we playing Georgia or are we playing Tennessee?
Same opponent.
If we're playing Georgia, it doesn't matter. We're going to get our face kicked in no matter what.
Oh my God, I don't know.
If we're playing Tennessee, it matters because they're not as good as Georgia. We can actually play with them.
All right. Anyways, noon kick. Florida State is 0-7. Last time times they've been there, I think. Something crazy.
Oof.
Where are you at on this game? Because we haven't picked it yet, so let's pick it.
All right, so I'm here.
And
I think
Clayton needs your pick as well.
I think Adam Fuller has struggled more than we want to believe that he struggled. I think that personnel, I think players, I think talent has carried him to where the defense has looked better, but I don't think it's much because of him. I think it's in spite of him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he puts them in the best positions to win football games, and that's going to be a slight issue. I don't think he's fast enough, quick enough with his thinking to that run a quick paced offense. And that's also a problem for me. With all that said, talent trumps everything. Florida State is more talented than Clemson. Florida State wins by 2 touchdowns.
2 touchdowns.
That's very nice. I wanted to say more. I think Clemson's bad, brother. I do.
They're not bad.
Duke made them look bad.
Mike Elko's really good. They got NFL talent. Duke.
Cool.
Duke ain't the old Duke.
And Florida State doesn't have NFL talent.
Mike Elko is the difference. Mike Elko's really good. Adam Fuller, he's like Jekyll and Hyde. I just don't know what the freaking hell we're going to get with Adam Fuller. I
agree with that, but I don't think the offense can score every time they touch the ball. They may not, but they have the ability to.
They did not against Boston College.
No, they didn't because they stopped. They stopped scoring. They had a bad quarterback or a quarterback with a broke wing. Like they weren't trying to score in the second half. They didn't run their offense in the second half, and we both know that. Now, maybe that's factors that'll keep playing into this week. Maybe Jordan Travis is still hurt. Maybe the offensive line's still hurt. Maybe they're still on IVs. They're not, just so we're clear. They're not. But all those things, they're there.
Clay, what do you think?
I'd probably take Florida State with the points. I allegedly am going to take Florida State with the points. Like you said, like you touched on earlier, I think Keon probably has a bounce back game after him and Jordan will get something worked out to where he gets his looks, and they're going to be big time looks. They're going to be that deep shot across the middle on a post. They're going to be in the red zone. For me, it comes down to running the ball, I think, because I don't think that they're just going to let you go in there and drop 50 through the air. I just don't think that Clemson's going to allow that with the talent that they have. I think that Benson and Toafili have to run the ball, and Toafili especially has to keep his hands on the freaking football.
Yeah.
Because the fumbling is starting to concern me a little bit. You can't have the stupid turnovers in a game like this in Clemson.
No.
I agree with that part.
It can get ugly like in a hurry over there. if the wheels fall off.
Yeah.
I think the key will be like, sounds crazy, but Jordan Travis. I think he has to have better control of the offense. I think they got to get more on his plate, and I think he has to get them in the right play call. Whether it be a run, if the defense is giving you a run, then you have to take it. You know, I think more than ever right now, he's trying to stretch the ball vertically downfield to his big receivers. Those are lower percentage throws than the underneath stuff. And I'm not saying throw underneath every time, but you cannot go broke taking a profit. So I just need him to take profit, like take positive yards, get the playmakers ball, and then let them go make plays. That's just what it has to be. And I think with Clemson, with their linebackers being really, really good, I almost think the pass has to open up the run. I think you're going to have to throw the ball early. And then, like, by throwing it early, I mean, like, getting completions and moving the chains, not necessarily the vertical shots, but I think they have to move the chains to make Clemson loosen up that box a little bit to allow the run game to be effective.
I agree.
I think they're going to have to do that. And I think that's going to rely on Jordan Travis. They're going to give him a play call, 2 play calls, run or pass. And he's got to decide based on the look that the defense gives us. Are we running the pass play or are we running the run play? And that sounds so trivial, but that's like a real thing. And I don't mean like RPO. I mean like truly 2 plays.
Right. We're either calling this play or we're calling this play. It's not an option. Whatever look you give me pre-snap, not during the snap, but pre-snap, we're either running this or running this. You're going to decide it. Yeah, I agree with that.
Yeah.
Clayton, what's the over/under on the game? I know you can look it up real quick, I think, right?
My dad picked God Almighty. Damn, Dad. Man said FSU by 21.
I'm telling you, I can
and
see
Ryan
it being
Bond
ugly.
also agreed.
I'm a little upset that Ryan didn't like my pick, but he liked Marty's pick. I don't. Why does he not like my pick?
Supporting Pops, man. That I'm with. Hey, you want to come over and watch the game, man? We didn't have good success against Boston. My dad came over to watch Boston College. He left at halftime. I'm pissed off.
Y'all had good success against Boston College whenever he was there.
Like the first quarter, it wasn't real good.
No, that's true. You're right.
I don't know. We made it at halftime.
Thank you, Tyler. 55.5. Did you already say that, Clayton? No, he didn't say that.
Lesnar has a point. FSU's defensive line cannot play like they did last Saturday.
I agree.
It looked like they were playing quicksand, and I don't know if that's because they just weren't healthy. They were. Man, when you're sick, boys, when y'all are sick, I don't want to play my football.
I'm 100% agree, and I'm telling you,
not an excuse. I'm not making an excuse.
No, you don't have to.
I'm just saying.
I'm very aware that there was a lot, not just 1 or 2, not just 5 or 10, not just 15. There was a lot of guys that were struggling going into that game. A lot.
Yeah.
Team.
They were. I mean, that does mean something.
It has to mean something.
I think that has been the easiest week to coach all year for Florida State staff.
100%.
They at full well have the players' attention.
100%. 100%. My only issue is may or may not, maybe, possibly, their defense didn't look great again at certain points this week.
That part.
In practice.
I think it's I'm going to make my pick. I'm going to go Clemson, but I'm going to go 27. I think Florida State wins the game. I'm going to say 28-27. Florida State wins. But they don't cover. I think it's a close game. I think Clemson gets a couple field goals. I think Will Shipley, the running back, is a problem for Florida State. I think he gets his through the air as well as on the ground, but not enough to derail them. Florida State's got to score 28 if they want to win, in my opinion. Anything more than you boys can get y'all's 14 and 21, but they've got to score 28. I don't see a way Clemson scores less than 24.
What do you have, Clayton, score-wise? Can he not hear me?
I don't know. I can hear you. Clayton, what do you have score-wise for this game?
I have it at 35-21. I think that we'll come out pissed off from last week because I do think the hopeful fan in me is hoping that what last week was them getting ready to come into this game and say, hey, we're going to beat these guys by double digits on the road and make a statement. So I'm basing my prediction off of mostly hope.
I'm with that. So my score prediction, Chris probably won't like this, and that's okay. I like the over in the game as well. And I like Florida State's team total over. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm going to hit it just so we're clear. 42-17 Florida State.
Well, you boys can all come watch the game at my house. Y'all have the same rooting interest as me.
I'll be there.
Yeah, I'll just see the bet slip, but yeah.
I'll send it to you. I'll put it in as soon as we get off here. I promise. Well, allegedly, I may not. I don't know. Allegedly.
Oh man, allegedly.
Yeah.
I'm excited though. It's a big game. It's a really big game. I think Florida State can not all but lock up the ACC, but like they will hand deliver Clemson their second loss, which all but puts them out of contention. So they have to just.
So then it's just a Florida State, Miami,
and Duke.
That's true.
Which
Yeah.
Florida State does play. But yeah, but then I'm good with that.
Yeah,
I'm good with that. It's good.
I need you to read Curtis Mesnard's comment.
It's the best. I just hope Dabo falls running down the hill. If this is the game, if this is the game, Florida State by 21.
Florida State by 1,000.
If
he falls, Florida State by 1,000.
My God, never prayed for that, but just might. What's next? What we have? You can't look at it.
No, I cannot look at it. Real quick, let's get the country club in.
Yes, sir. There is more good stuff out there.
Yes, it's 10-12, but freak it, let's ride.
Yeah. Yes. Can I talk about what's next so people don't leave?
Yeah, go ahead.
The big struggle. Talk about it with Texas struggling with Wyoming, Alabama struggling with USF, Georgia and South Carolina, and then Florida State struggling. We just covered that, but that's what's next. So stay tuned. Before we get to that, Joey, we are going to talk about the country club. Yeah,
country club at Lake City. Course is in good shape. Food is always excellent. I mean, it never changes. It never misses. Johnny in the kitchen, I'm telling you, he's boy's money. But yeah, give him a call, 752-2266, and they will they'll hook you up. Ask to speak to Dave Mel, and they'll get the membership squared away for you. It's worth it.
It is absolutely worth it.
Yep.
It's that time of the year. Like it's not too hot anymore.
It's about to be perfect golf time.
Literally.
Yeah.
Like, go do it.
Yeah.
Is the pool ready yet? Sorry, Curtis. We're still working on that.
I don't know yet. I don't know.
We'll get to it.
Yeah, eventually.
So I kind of alluded to it a little bit. Clayton, I'm gonna throw it to you. Like with Florida State not playing great against Boston College, I heard someone say like, "Is this the year of like 2006 where?" It's a long time ago, but like there wasn't like this dominant football team. There's people traded wins and losses, and there's the BCS. So like two teams got in there, and it was kind of crazy. This year kind of feels that way a little bit. So that's why I wasn't like pressing the panic button, because Texas, who just beat Bama pretty soundly, struggled with Wyoming
at Bama
on the road. Georgia struggles with South Carolina. Like, is this the year, Clayton, where like a team like a Florida State or Colorado runs it like a Colorado, a team that we didn't see winning a national championship? Like, is this the year that they might can do it because the league overall has more parity?
I don't think so. I think landscape wise, yes. I just don't think that I've seen enough from teams that we would say like are outside of the contender window to say like, yeah, okay, I think that you have a shot. If you took last year's TCU and brought them, all those guys back to this year, then I would say, yeah, maybe, like you can make a run, you could go win it. But I still think that it's going to be one of the bigger names, us, Texas, Georgia will obviously be in there, Michigan, your Ohio State, Penn State with Drew Aller. I still think it's going to be one of the big guys.
I agree. Kinda. I just don't think they're playing at the same level that they played last year. Like, I don't think Georgia has Jalen Carter or Jordan Davis or even Stetson Bennett that make the offense go, or Todd Monken. Like, I don't think they're the same Georgia that they were last year. And Bama clearly isn't the same Bama. But I'm not saying they suck. I'm just saying, like, if I felt like Florida State this year had to play those teams, I'd be like, God almighty, why? Why do we have to play the Georgia team? But I may eat my words, but I don't really see them like that right now. Like, they don't have that Jordan Davis or that Jalen Carter freak show in the middle.
No, they don't.
That destroys everything.
Right.
I think I'm not saying anyone's down per se, but I think everyone is like closer together. I think Florida State is up a little bit.
No, I agree.
I think Georgia's took a step down, I guess.
Yeah,
that's kind of where I'm at.
I agree with that. I mean, I do think that Florida State's that top tier. But I think that Georgia has taken 2 or 3 steps down. Like they were dominant last year. Dominant this year. They haven't dominated anyone. Like literally anyone on their schedule so far.
No.
Nobody.
And they don't play anyone.
They have played no one yet. South Carolina is the best team they've played, and they're incredibly, incredibly average.
And Duke killed South Carolina.
North Carolina.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
North Carolina.
Right. State.
North Carolina beat them like pretty convincingly.
It really wasn't a game after halftime. Like midway through the third quarter, when North Carolina went up by 2 touchdowns, it was closer than 2 touchdowns again.
Right, I agree.
No, I don't think South Carolina is good. I said that from the beginning. I thought Georgia would be better than they've been. I think they'll figure it out and get better as the season goes on.
I trust Kirby Smart.
Yeah, I said this from the beginning of the season. With their schedule, they don't have to be great early. They just have to be great late. And if they can figure it out and start to understand, I just confidence in Mike Bobo or Carson Beck in anyway. I watched Carson Beck play in high school. I know Hunter says he was great. He wasn't. I don't know. Hey, he hadn't been in here. But I just don't. I don't think that they're as good as they have been the last 2 years. I don't think that's necessarily a slight to them. It's just hard to be as tip-top great as they have been.
Right.
And then obviously Alabama's not what they were. I mean, Texas is good, but they're human. They're not. I mean, USC, they're good, but it's played really good so far. We'll see how good they are Saturday.
The 2 are the outliers, Michigan and Ohio State. I think at least me personally, I feel like I know the least about them.
I agree. Michigan has struggled. They haven't struggled at all.
No.
But they haven't looked great. Yeah.
They haven't had any intentions on trying to score points.
No.
Just trying to win football games.
But is that because maybe can't, or is that because they just don't?
They haven't had their head coach for 4 weeks. So
that's true. That's a good point.
It does matter a little bit.
Yeah.
Let's do this real quick. Playoffs right now. What 4 teams would be in your playoff? And we'll go to you first. What 4 teams would you have in the playoffs? You don't have to order them 1 to 4, but just which 4 teams?
USC will be in there because there's no one in the Pac-12 that I think will beat them in the regular season or the championship game. Texas will probably be in there. I think Bama was their toughest game. So I think if they win out, no mishaps, they should be fine. I think we'll be in there. Unbiasedly, I think that we'll be in there, especially if we get through this weekend. I was hoping that Clemson would be undefeated coming into the weekend because then that would boost us if we lost, if our only loss was to undefeated Clemson and then we beat them in the championship game. And then probably I'd go Michigan just because they are returning all those guys who got to the playoff last year. You know, Corum's back, quarterback's back, Harbaugh's coming back. They haven't even had their head coach, like you said. I think they're going to get a lot of momentum from him coming back and being on the sidelines and his antics and energy. So,
yeah, I like that. I like that. So you think Michigan beats Ohio State, and that's why you don't have Ohio State in there?
From what I've seen from Ohio State, I'm not super impressed. I don't think that the offense looks as good as I thought that it might now that CJ Stroud is gone. I mean, Marvin Harrison is obviously still freaking ridiculous, but it just doesn't seem to be run as smoothly without Stroud under center.
I agree. First-round quarterback.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
What about you? What do you think?
I have the same 4 teams I had from the beginning of the year. I don't think that's changed yet.
And they are?
Georgia, Florida State, USC, Texas.
So you guys have the exact same 4?
Oh, shit.
Damn it.
Again, I've had that from the beginning. I'm not changing that. I think Ohio State loses this weekend. I think Michigan loses to Ohio State. That takes them both out because the other 4 are going to go undefeated.
Yeah. I think the 2 that I feel like most confident about is Georgia, Florida State. For schedule purposes, basically. Like, I feel like the schedule allows that to be relatively easy.
I think Texas is in the same category.
Yeah, I mean, they have to be Oklahoma.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I'm not as dismissive of Oklahoma as you. They've been putting up points, and the Brent Venables can call defense.
They've been better early this year than they were last year when they finished 6-6.
I agree with that. 500 team.
Yeah, they last year is what they finished 6-6 because they went 3-0 early, actually 4-0, going into the Texas game, and 49-3.
The Red River rivalry though is something. It does matter a little bit.
Yeah, it does.
Texas has owned it as of late.
The better team.
I agree with that. They seem more physical. But I will go like Florida State, Georgia, Texas, and if the
Touch into it.
I think they'd be Oklahoma. But then it has to be the winner of Ohio State, Michigan, Notre Dame.
There's still a lot of teams that can play and have a chance.
Penn State is not pushing.
They've been playing really good.
And they run the freaking football.
Mm-hmm.
And that plays. They play decent defense, and they run the freaking football. Manny Diaz is their DC, and that's why I can't get down with them. So get Penn State out of here. State, Texas. I don't think there's enough defense.
They scare me right now.
Because they have defense or because they score?
But
if they're undefeated in the Pac-12, they're in.
1,000%.
So then I'm going to be USC.
My problem, I think that the Pac-12 is much better than Clayton. Clayton was kind of dismissive of the Pac-12 a minute ago. There's some good football teams in Pac-12. Oregon State, Washington State, Washington, UCLA.
Masnar says Texas, FSU, UGA, and Ohio State.
Yeah, he's an
an
Ohio State guy. He should say that. I would be upset if Mesnar did not say that. Honestly,
correct. Let's see. Is there? We haven't talked any NFL.
No, it's time. I think, right? Is there anything else?
Yeah. No, that's it. Relegation cost the ball. That we'll come back.
Yep. Because I'm not 100% sure what Tyler meant by that. So
I did. So we'll come back to relegation cost the ball. It's
next week.
It's basically like realignment.
Right. Yeah.
It's like soccer.
I mean, I knew that, but I just didn't know who he was going to go with.
Each like primary league would pick like a sub league.
Okay.
So for example,
I got
SEC and Sun Belt. So if a Sun Belt team does really, really well, they can go to the main conference. If it's like Vandy, it's terrible, it's relegated.
Yeah.
So each like ACC would
like
have
the bottom three, bottom four, and then the top four of the other would be.
We'll get to it. We won't cover it today.
No, but I like that though. That's a good conversation.
Absolutely.
Maxwell says Penix is ridiculous. I agree. He is. He's been really good.
He's really good.
They've also played really nobody, but that doesn't matter. He's been good.
Yax was in here earlier. I'm not sure he's still here. I hope he is. I think he's going to get you a little bit, Clayton.
I'm sure that he's still in here.
Do we want to talk about the Broncos?
We have to talk about the Broncos, Clayton.
We don't have to.
We have to, and we're going to. We're doing it right now.
We don't have
Broncos are up first. Where are you at on the Broncos season? Have you, sir, pushed the panic button?
Partially, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I go through ups and downs with it because I prayed all offseason that Russ in the offense, and I've told y'all, because especially you, Martinez, you're not a Russ guy.
No.
But the numbers have not lied so far. Russ is a top 5 quarterback through 2 weeks, whatever that may mean. But through 2 weeks, he's a top 5 quarterback. And we have one of the best offenses in the NFL. Our defense gives up 35 points at home to Sam freaking Howell. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's not ideal.
Not great.
We're up 21-3, and I don't know. I'm panicking on the defense. I'm not panicking on the offense. I think Sean Payton's doing exactly what I thought he was going to do with the offense. I'd like to see Javonte get a little bit more involved in the passing game.
I would agree with that.
Yep.
Because they only bring in Samaje for passing, and if Samaje's in the background or in the backfield, we're passing. But other than that, I don't really have too many complaints on the offense. It's just the defense. I can't watch it. They don't let Surtain shadow the best receiver. So then Damari Mathis gets matched up. I think Damari Mathis in 8 coverage targets this week against Washington allowed 7 receptions for 112 yards and 2 touchdowns or something like that.
Yeah.
I mean, how is that guy on the field? I don't understand it.
I hope he stays on the field, honestly. He's a great fantasy cornerback because he always gives up catches and he makes tackles. It's fantastic. He's the perfect guy. He's got Surtain on the other side, so they always target him. Then he always makes tackles. It's a beautiful fantasy situation, honestly. I paid that guy good money for that exact reason. Honestly, I did. So my thing with Denver is they've played Vegas and they've played the Commanders and they're 0-2.
Yeah, that's not great.
That ain't great. I'm not hitting the panic button because of the same way as you. Like they've had many opportunities to win games and they just haven't. So Miami this week, not great. At Chicago, that's winnable. The Jets, winnable. At Kansas City, no. Green Bay at home. Kansas City at home. Okay. I mean, the next few weeks will be big. Chicago and the Jets specifically.
Chicago's a win. They're terrible.
I understand that. They're equally as bad as Las Vegas and Washington. What else? What else we need to talk about?
I mean, that's we don't have a whole lot here. We just have NFL. By ourselves fantasy we have. But we just wanted to get the Broncos because we have Clayton on there.
Hey, Clay.
Yeah, statistically, the Broncos offense is better than the Bills offense right now. Just letting you know. And Russ is much better than Josh Allen statistically right now.
Ooh,
so.
Shot fired. I mean, I'm going to eat some crow on that too. I'm willing to do that.
Yeah,
that was just for Yax. Yax likes to talk.
Yeah, well,
I can't wait to see the comment.
Yeah,
I'm just waiting on the comment.
I've been waiting on it. Yeah, Buffalo hasn't been world beaters. They looked terrible week 1. They got it back on track last week, but Josh Allen still hasn't looked great yet.
He has.
And also,
has he regressed?
I'm not sure that he's regressed. He just hasn't progressed much.
Wouldn't that mean that he regressed?
If you're not getting better, you're staying the same. Or if you're getting better.
No.
If you're not getting better,
you're getting worse.
You're getting worse.
You're regressing.
Jesus.
Yeah, no one's
long night, buddy.
Yeah, I get it, man. I get it. Also,
if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. So you can't be staying the same. So maybe he has regressed.
I feel like he may have regressed a little bit.
Josh Allen is the second highest completion percentage in the NFL right now. That doesn't move the needle for me. Completion percentage.
I think Jordan Whitehead is still like the Bills' third leader in receptions this year with his 3 picks in week 1. I think it's like Stephon Diggs, Gabe Davis, and then Jordan Whitehead.
You mean the DB for the Jets?
You want to buy or sell? Or do a little fantasy football buy or sell?
Yeah, we can do that.
It's bogging down just a touch.
Yeah, we can do that. Let's do that. Saints 2-0 with a trash quarterback. I absolutely agree. There's that bother. Derek Carr's still the quarterback there. He's so bad. He is terrible.
Are we on James Winston training
Yes.
now?
Yes.
He should have been starting. Derek Carr's garbage. I tried to tell you and Tyler that. I think Tyler is low-key a James Winston fan, though.
I'm not a Jameis Winston hater.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. He's not a gosh darn top 5 quarterback in the NFL like you people in this chat say. Zach Maxwell.
He might not be, but
he's top 10.
Top 32.
He might be top 32.
He is top 32.
Yeah, he might. Well, Daniel Jones is too, so he's definitely.
He's in the top 20. He's in the 20s. Minimum.
He's at minimum 30.
He's better than Baker Mayfield.
No.
Yes, he is.
No, he's not.
Yes,
no,
he is.
Tampa will be better with him.
They tried that once and they weren't. With a better head coach.
5,000 yards passing.
With a better head coach, they were not better.
5,000 yards passing.
And 39 turnovers every year.
Receivers got to run their routes. Kiss the wall.
They're doing that now with Baker. Same receivers, actually.
Oh.
Only 4 years older. Real talk.
They're more veteran.
Real talk. Mike Evans. How does he do it? How?
I don't know, man. But I love it because I got him. So
it is
continue, sir.
It is baffling to me that
drop the free.
Evans still gets open somehow.
Yeah. Clayton, has Josh Allen regressed?
It depends on what you would call regressed, I guess, because in terms of who he can be and who I still think he has the ability to be, no, I don't think that he's dropped out of MVP conversations or Super Bowl contenders. But right now, through the last 4-ish games, reaching back into last postseason, the play has dropped a little bit. I don't know what it is. I'm not panicking on him. I still think he's, even at this level, probably a top 5 quarterback. I can't name 5 guys that I would rather have, but
I agree with that. I can probably name.
But I think he has dropped in production a little bit.
He's definitely top 5, but like at one point he was like top 2. I'm not sure that we're like still there.
Yeah, the gap between him and Mahomes was a lot smaller like a year and a half ago than it is now, where it's
I think that's the
fairly
thing.
considerable.
And that's where I'm at. That's why I'm at. He's an exceptional player. Still very, very good.
Right.
But
I'd take him in Denver.
I'd take him anywhere but Kansas City. Personally. Just me.
I still think he's really, really good. I'll never say that Josh Allen's not great at what he does. He's really, really good at what he does. They as of right this minute, they don't have a better chance this year than they did last year of beating the Chiefs. They don't have a better chance. And if he's progressed, then they probably do. But it's also not entirely his fault.
No,
they have Gabe Davis as the second option to catch footballs there. Come on.
I said that
Come on.
I feel like I said they didn't get enough.
Come on.
Didn't I say that?
And I agreed.
Kincaid was like supposed to be the savior.
Kincaid's okay. He's a nice player.
He's very nice.
He's a nice player.
You have an all-time quarterback, like for real. He's a potential Hall of Famer.
Most likely.
Probably gonna be a Hall of Famer, right? Give him some more weapons. Get him more than sticks.
Please.
Get him some
Or how about this? Not just get him weapons. James Cook's a pretty good weapon right now. He looks decent.
Yeah.
Why is Latavius Murray stepping foot on the football field?
I don't know.
Why is Damian Harris playing football for you?
I don't know.
Like, that's asinine. It is unbelievable that, one, Latavius Murray is still on a roster, but two, he actually plays significant role. Like, they get inside the 10-yard line. James Cook goes out. The other 2 running backs come in, and they kick field goals. Rinse, repeat. It's not a coincidence, brother. It's not. They're bad. They're bad at coaching football in the NFL, some of them.
Yeah.
The Saints are some of those too. Watching that game the other night was embarrassingly bad. Derek Carr doing this. Ready? Check down. 3rd and 9. Check down. Stop.
I'm ready. Trust me.
He's escaping pressure that's not there. You know?
He sees ghosts.
He is literally seeing ghosts. He is running from the pocket when nobody's in his face. He's so bad.
He sucks. You know what James won't do?
Tyler, stop. Hold on 1 second. Tyler, you watched week 1. You raged week 1. Don't tell me that there's some great freaking football team now. They're not great. They didn't magically become God overnight. It didn't happen, buddy. It didn't happen. It did not happen, Tyler. Rage if you want to. Come rage over here. We'll talk about it.
Let's see. Oh, you're reading his comments. I just saw him. There's a bunch of them.
He's right, though. I wouldn't take Joe Burrow over Josh Allen right now. Not after how Joe Burrow's looked up the first 2 weeks.
I'm not. No, I've literally said I would take Josh Allen number 2 as well. You said that. I said that. I'm taking him number 2. The gap just isn't closing.
I said anybody but Mahomes.
But if you asked me 3 weeks ago, I probably would have said Joe Burrow over Josh Allen. That's just me. I think it's close, but through
I'm
2
close.
weeks,
I think
it's got to be Josh Allen.
I think I do. I think they're close.
You are putting us on a roller coaster ride right now.
I like roller coasters.
Jesus, man.
Woo!
Very good. We're set.
All right, we're good now.
Damn it, man.
I watch every Bills game, every one of them. I have not missed a game yet, Tyler.
And you think
they're average? Not average, but they're not. They haven't closed the gap. They haven't closed the gap. They've done nothing to make the gap closer.
Time will tell, right?
Sure, it will.
I love it.
Sure, it will. There's plenty left. Hey, Clayton, can you hear me?
Somewhat, yeah. What's up?
Why can everybody else hear me?
Wait, can you hear me better, Clayton?
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Wait, has everyone else been able to hear Joey tonight? I wonder. We'll find out really quick. What's the question you have for him?
I feel like Tyler would have said that he couldn't hear me if he couldn't hear me.
He might not have, because there might not be anything to do about it. What's your question?
He said I'm louder than anyone. That's crazy. That's because I was yelling to say so Clayton could hear me. My question is, when does Roschon Johnson take the lead role in Chicago?
I heard that one, Joey. I heard the name, but we texted about it earlier, and I told Joey, Chris, you obviously weren't in the message, but Joey's had a lot of bad, questionable takes on the podcast.
Yes.
But Roshan Johnson taking over Chicago's backfield by week 5 might have been the best one he's ever had. It's already starting, and he looks good.
Pair that one with Lamar Jackson being the best ever. Yeah, he's pretty clutch there with that one.
Yeah,
I only remember giving 2 my whole life, and they were Roshan Johnson and Lamar Jackson. So
we only remember the wins.
we only remember the wins.
We don't remember the L's. All right, buy or sell. Buy or sell. Dalvin Cook.
Sell hard, fast, hard. Get him out of there.
Sell. Okay. You give me a buy or sell. Clayton, be cooking one up.
Mike Evans.
Ooh, the stock is high right now. You can sell it and make you get some good value. But I personally, I have him. I'm gonna ride it. So, buy. I think Baker locks in, so I'm gonna buy. Clayton.
Who's the stock on? Mike Evans.
Yeah.
So I think Baker's in for regression. I didn't think that Evans was going to do this well to start the year, and I think we're in that era of the Baker Mayfield cycle where he's good, he's playing above expectation, but I don't think that he'll stay there.
Terrence says he's buying Evans steady.
Why is Josh Allen better than Jameis?
Oh, I love it. Hey, read that comment.
Why is Josh Allen better than Jameis? I don't know, Max. I don't think that he is.
I'm with you, Max. Yeah, I don't think so, man.
It's because he's got a better arm. He's more accurate with the football. He throws it to the correct question, to the correct team.
All right. Sorry, stop with the facts. Clayton, buy or sell. Who do you got?
Keenan Allen.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Bro, that's so good. Because he's right in the middle for me. I don't. He is who he is. He's always been the same guy. Like, he has weeks where he's so good, but then he's super consistent with what he does. I'm gonna buy Keenan Allen.
I think I'll buy Keenan Allen as well. I've never drafted him. Never ever had him on a fantasy team.
I haven't had him since he was young.
Age kills him, scares
Right.
me. But I'm gonna buy it. Where are you at, Clayton?
Probably on buy. I think Mike Williams is probably it's not even Keenan Allen's ability, it's Mike Williams' health factor. And he's bound to miss at least 6 or 7 more games. So from a fantasy output, they're one of the highest throwing teams in the league in terms of percentage of passing plays. He is still Herbert's number 1 guy. And he's not one of those guys that with age he loses his skill set. He's a route runner, and he's a possession catcher. He doesn't have to be as physical and go up and get those jump balls. He knows how to get open. So I'll probably buy it, even though that I don't like him. I think he keeps the production up.
I think you're right.
I think that's
a great point.
Yeah, I think that's where I'm at with him. You couple Mike Williams, who I don't think is great. I think he does things really well. He's just not a great wide receiver. He's a great deep ball guy. He's a great go get it kind of guy. And then you added Quentin Johnston, who is no different than Mike Williams, except for the worst version of him. So I just don't see any real competition for targets other than Austin Eckler, and right now he's not there. So there's definitely no reason to sell Keenan Allen because he is who he is.
We're gonna go fastball for some of these.
Yeah.
Puka.
Yeah, bye.
Cooper Kupp may not play.
I don't know that he will play this year, and even if he does, I think he's a great complement to Cooper Kupp. They're a similar type receiver, but for years now they haven't had the stretch the field guy. So I don't think that's.
I agree. Drake London.
I'm gonna buy Drake London.
Sell.
I think it's a good time to buy because you can get him for really cheap.
Yep. I'm selling him.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I talked about coaching earlier. Arthur Smith. He's the worst coach in the NFL.
I got one more or 2 more. I have 2 more. Clayton, did you didn't buy or sell this?
On Drake London?
Yeah.
So I can't. I don't want anything to do with Arthur Smith. He's a clown.
Yeah,
he hit him with a quick sell too.
While we're on Arthur Smith,
Sell.
So I would pick up Jake Ferguson over Kyle Pitts at this point.
At this point, it's a freaking shame, but you're right.
I think Jake Ferguson is actually a really good waiver wire pickup in fantasy leagues if you need a tight end.
He hasn't done anything. He's actually not very good in real life, which makes it very hard to do that.
I got one more, and then one of you boys can jump in. Adam Thielen.
So
He had a big night doing it.
he hasn't had a bad couple of games.
He hasn't. And Bryce Young is going to find the guy that's going to run the right routes to be in the right spot. Adam Thielen will be that guy.
What do you think, Clayton?
I would buy it at – I'm not going to buy it at even a wide receiver 2 production in fantasy. I would buy it at a flex production because I do think he's that safety net. But I think as the year goes on and Bryce Young gets more comfortable, Chuba Hubbard's going to see a lot more receiving work out of the backfield. And then I think Mingo is also going to step up a lot throughout the year. So
I totally agree. I'm going to buy, but I also did just pick up Chuba Hubbard in the not hope, but in the event that Miles Sanders gets healthy or gets unhealthy like he is prone to do for the same reason that what you just said. So I'm also on Hubbard, but I think I would also buy Thielen. I think he'll be a reliable guy. He's basically like what a tight end is. Safety blanket, safety net, like outlet for Bryce Young. He's going to be in the right spot. He's going to be able to try.
I just think throughout the course of the year, like Clayton said, I think they're going to go almost to a youth movement. And I think his routes will diminish throughout the year. He'll still be there to mentor and all that stuff, and he'll still play, but I don't know that he has 100% of the routes.
How old is Adam Thielen?
31.
Is he really?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe. I'm still going to buy that. I don't have any. I'm just going to be like 5.
Clayton, you got any?
What's that, Joey?
Do you have any?
Clayton, do you have any?
Jared Judy.
You go first. Jerry Judy.
I'm buying Jerry Judy with the knowledge that he's going to have dud weeks because they're going to spread the ball around. They got guys. They got a lot. Speaking of youth movement, they got a lot of young guys.
I think Clayton, I'll let you go last. I'll buy Jerry Judy, but I need it at this. Like, I can't pay, like, premium for him.
Adam Thielen is 33, by the way.
He's my oh, my God.
Yeah.
Ooh. I'm going to buy him just for the age factor.
There you go.
But, damn. Yeah. Cool. Thanks. But back to Jerry Judy. I am going to I'm going to buy. But I need to feel like I won that.
I'm with it.
Clayton. Jerry Judy, are you buying or selling?
I'm kind of back and forth. I've had a back and forth relationship with him as a fan. I guess I'll buy because of how well Russ is spreading the ball right now. And in the last couple of games of last year, I think him and Russ connected really well. So I'll buy, but like you said, not at a premium.
Yeah, if you're on the fence, I think I may have to sell. Nobody knows the Broncos better than Clayton.
I'm trying to think of guys that have overperformed in the first couple of weeks.
Shout out Zach Ball.
Yeah, I saw ZP in there.
Sir. Clayton, you're 0-2 in fantasy football?
No, listen. I have the worst luck in this league. On week 1, I lost by 0.8 points because Tyreek Hill dropped 45. All right. This week I lost by 6. And I had Deshaun Watson had 3 turnovers on Monday night. I mean, what are we talking about? I'm 0-2 by 7 points. Like, I don't feel bad.
Yeah, that's brutal. That's tough luck for sure. I'm trying to think of another fantasy.
Buy or sell, Kirk Cousins is a top 3 fantasy quarterback the rest of the year.
So. Clayton, buy or sell, Kirk Cousins is a top 3 fantasy quarterback the rest of the year.
Rest of the year? Sell. No way. Not top 3.
He's number 1 right now, just so we're clear.
Is he really?
He balled this week. I have him in a league, but
Yeah, number 1 overall player in fantasy football is Kirk Cousins right now. I think he has the ability to stay in the top 3 because they're going to throw the ball forever and ever and ever with Justin Jefferson and Jordan Addison.
Windy City Gritty Committee. That's a Jay Jett. He's the guy. Okay, buy or sell Joe Burrow.
So I don't like the calf injury. The calf injury, it's not good for him.
At this point, it's still really weird.
Yeah. No bueno, my friend.
Yeah. Where are you at on that, Clayton?
I'll buy. They were 0-2 last year and made the deep run that they did. They still went to Kansas City for the championship game. I think they'll work it out. I mean, it's the second week. I'm trying not to overreact about my team. It wouldn't be fair to overreact about other people.
Yeah, you're right. That's a valid point, double-headed point. You got any more?
Yeah, buy or sell Kyron Williams as a top 10 running back the rest of the way.
For the Rams?
Mm-hmm.
So
let me preface it by saying he's number 2 overall right now for running back.
So he just has to stay in top 10. If I didn't know that he was already top 2, I would sell. But
I'll still sell.
I'm probably going to buy. Where are you at on that?
If he gets the rock like he's been getting the rock, I'm buying it. He catches the ball. He's always been
buy or sell.
I'm buying. He's always been a great pass catcher. Like he did that at Notre Dame really well. And he runs it good enough in that system to be what they need him to be. Good enough where they got rid of Cam Akers.
Yeah, don't like that, but I get it.
Went to the Vikings though, so that's good. It gives them a legitimate running back.
With Vikings?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alexander Madison, not it.
No, he was never it. He was bad every year that he's ever been the main guy.
5 carries a game when Dalvin was there, and they were all at garbage.
Right. And then whenever he was the lead back, he would get 18 carries for 49 yards, and everybody knew it was coming except for the Minnesota Vikings, which I don't know that they care because they thought that Kirk Cousins was going to throw it 45 times all over the place, and he's done that, so good for them.
I don't think I have any more. Also 10:48.
Yep, I'm ready.
Well, you're getting us out of here.
Well, do it. I don't know how to get us out of here either, but that's going to be it for tonight's Sitters. This has been Joey Edge along with Chris Martinez and Clayton Steinrook. And Tyler Rolfe somehow has managed to
Bro, he deserves some credit. He's producing this thing from an island right now.
Yeah, he is.
Not an actual island, but like not with us.
He might be on an island. We're not sure. ZP wants to know real quick, Cam going to the Vikings, buy or sell Cam? I'm buying. I think he's the lead back.
I'll buy with all the weapons. Hawkinson, Jay Jettas. I'll buy Cam.
I think he's the lead back there by 3 weeks from now.
But I do need it to be a discount.
I'm good with it, but agreed.
So.
All right, well.
Clayton, thanks for hopping in, bro.
We appreciate you.
Yeah,
Clayton.
I appreciate you guys having me. Sorry I'm having some sort of technical issue where I can't hear Joey, but that normally is better for me. So
whatever, jerk. I got 7 monsters over here in the refrigerator just waiting on you.
My bad, bro. I'll tell the dude not direct next time.
That's it. Yeah, tell him to do that. All right, guys. Everybody have a great night.